2 warnings,
And
that
you're
gets you a
rejected.
slap. 3 slaps gets you a...
I'll get warned twice right away.
Oh, shit.
All right. I'm ready when you guys are ready.
This is kind of appropriate that we were just joking about warnings and slaps. Like, 2 warnings gets you a slap is what we were joking about. I just did a show, and I don't want to say what it was about or anything, but let's just say...
Comedy.
Shit. Well, cat's out of the bag.
Yep.
I did a show. I was asked to do this thing, and look, as a stand-up comic, sometimes you do shows because you want to do the show. Sometimes you do shows because it's a great crowd to work on new stuff. Sometimes you do shows to pay bills.
Yes.
This was a bill-paying show.
Good. Yep.
And it was a fundraiser for an animal rescue, right? And I have now learned, in my experience, that if it is for a animal rescue, pet shelter kind of place, that's a red flag.
Okay.
Because
The animals never think your jokes are funny.
no, it's because they the people that run them, who are also the people that hire you, right, and pay you, they're all passion and no admin. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
They are all passion, and they've racked up like hospital bills, medical bills for animals,
Yep.
and they, I think, expect everyone else to have that same passion.
Right.
And like, I dedicated my life to this, and it's like that's really great.
Right.
Yeah.
And I help out here and there as I can. I have not dedicated my life to this, right? But so usually they're also extremely warm people.
Yes.
They're very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Everything's good. I just did this thing with Doug Key, friend of the podcast, guest of the show. And we went, and the woman that hired us was so like gruff and aggressive.
Yeah.
And she called us bitch like so many times.
Like Freddy Krueger?
No, because that's like kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? But a lot of like, oh, so you're pretty rough and tumble, huh? She's like, yeah, bitch. What do you want? Like stuff like that.
Wow.
Like we showed up on time before the show, ready to be there in enough time to be like, hey, we're here. Don't worry. And she started with, oh, good, you're here, like in front of everybody.
Nice.
It was weird.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of aggression, and I'm also not the guy that is like, yeah, bitch, stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm okay.
Yeah, right.
I was raised by 3 women. I don't even know how to talk to the men in the room. Please don't do that. She stood by the side of the stage, and
That's what you want. Yeah.
yep, and she would just respond to things. She would share her opinions. She would basically heckle. Towards the end of the night, she was like you could tell it was like, oh, you're joking. Well, I'm joking too.
Yeah.
And well, the only joking you know how to do is like attacking someone.
Yeah.
And I am in a position where I feel a professional responsibility to not attack you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So it's a weird power dynamic of essentially feeling like a prostitute, where I'm like, you paid me.
Yep.
I guess I just got to let you say these things to me.
Right.
Right.
It's very strange. But I say that to say this, and this is why it reminded me of it. So by the end of the set, I'm wrapping up. I was at like 50 minutes. I was wrapping up, and I'm just trying to get off stage.
Yeah.
Just like let's end this thing. The show went well. Everybody enjoyed it. That was great.
Yep.
She's doing her thing. I dealt with that throughout the night and was trying to toe the line of being funny and professional.
Yes.
My nose is completely closed up now. I feel like a scuba diver. So she is now like amping up
Well,
the stuff.
you got to save your best bits for the
Right,
the
and
end of the show.
it's been enough for the night. She feels comfortable, and she's doing that stuff, and I'm trying to wrap up, and she's like, yeah, bitch, and she's just calling me a bitch, like over and over and over, and I finally just had enough, and I was like, look, and I said her name, and I was like, if you call me a bitch like 1 or 2 more times, I'm going to come.
Yep.
She did not know how to respond to it.
Yeah.
The room reacted very positively.
Good.
And I was like, bye, and I left. It's the only time I've ever ended a show with that.
Yeah.
For sure. Usually I like to start with a come.
Yeah, of course.
Kind of set the bar. right?
And then everyone's relaxed for the next little bit of time.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then people feel like they got their money's worth when they brought those tarps for the
Right.
front row, like a Gallagher show.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's where I got the idea.
Yeah. When
And
I
sometimes I have watermelon seeds in it.
when I do it, only one person needs like a tiny Ziploc bag.
Got it.
I got it. Like a
I
little,
need that back.
Yes.
it's like I'm loading a Revolutionary War musket. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was the
Was that the one that you walked straight to your car after the show? Or was that a different bad show?
Ooh, I think that was a different bad show. Wow. That was a different bad show. There's a period of time in stand-up I have found in the past few years, like maybe post-COVID. I realized it last year where I'm like, April is usually the slump month for me. Where most of those shows that are paycheck shows, most of those shows feel like that, where I like walk straight to my car. I'm like, I am out of here.
Yeah.
It's a bummer of a time, but like it happens. I think it's because it starts to get nice out, so most people are like, oh, we can finally like go do something outside. I don't want to go see a comedy show. And then you're left with people that maybe you don't want at that comedy show.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
But and I do a lot of fundraisers around that time of year. Yeah, it's a thing. Maybe next year I'll just be like, I'll just take April off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun though.
Well,
All right.
hello.
Glad you got a good line.
And welcome to another episode of Funbearable. I'm Brad Rohr.
I'm Ray Harrington.
And I'm Chuck the bitch Staten.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yep, taking it back.
Oh, I'm so mad that you took that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Man,
You could have said it.
Can we all have it as a communal?
Yes.
I don't know that I...
Brad the bitch Rohr, Ray the bitch Harrington,
I don't know that I want
Chuck
that
the bitch Staten.
part of...
Oh, I think the internet will do that job for us.
They have.
Also, I think if Funbearable, like Funbearable can be a little bitch sometimes.
Oh,
you know
for
what I mean?
sure. In many
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In every way that bitch can be used.
Sometimes we've had episodes and listener viewers don't even know we're a little bitchy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do know.
Oh, that's fair.
Most of the times they do know, I think.
Yeah. They'll usually say oh, the big one's being a bitch, or like the little one's being a bitch. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like that our listeners just throw it around all the time.
Yeah. You know, well, that woman, that's how she found you.
Yeah, that
She's
is.
like,
Yeah. I like that big bitch.
It is another episode where we're gonna read some viewer listener emails. I'm really excited about that.
Wait, what is it?
Oh, because I thought
What do
we
you
were
mean?
just reading like
personal emails?
personal entries.
I was gonna read my update emails from 2006, so you would know what I was doing then. As I was looking for jobs, here's what I was doing: playing Guitar Hero.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what I was doing.
This is interesting because okay, all right, no, that's fine.
You got a lot of emails queued up, ready to go.
Yeah, I had a lot of them, and I was worried that I wasn't going to get into the email. It's usually like sealed up.
Yeah,
And then you have to like.
There's going to be a way to get in.
Yeah.
like I can't think of one, so I'll just start with
Like
the
if you
emails.
have a coconut,
Right.
You need to smash it open.
Yeah.
Smash?
No,
Smash it? No.
it's something.
Right,
It's
just
different.
Just feels like we could just go
What if you
straight
got
to
into the? Well, the smash creates like a crevice,
a crack.
like a,
Yeah,
a
something
crack,
like that.
like
Yeah,
a crack.
Yeah, like a crack. So maybe
Oh,
we could
crack that sack. Coconuts,
bitch,
coconuts
bitch,
and
bitch,
bitch, coconut bitch.
bitches.
Try new coconut flavored bitch today.
Raise come.
Wait, what? That's also coconut flavor.
folks who have written in. We had a lot of emails about boy crimes. We're saving those for a special boy crimes episode.
Absolutely.
Boy, oh boy, any other podcast that said those words, I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah, but for us, we're like, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
all right, cool.
Yeah, of course. We don't have the wigs today. That's the
yeah.
problem. Yeah.
So we're in January 22nd of 2025.
But that's this year,
It
Brad.
sure
Yeah.
is.
How could we
baby.
be doing current emails?
Yeah.
Almost.
Current,
Almost
semi-current.
current.
Yeah.
Wait, how hopeful are they?
Not.
Oh, okay. No, that's current.
That's
That's
good.
current.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, good.
This is from Logan. Good morning, trio. Mainly Brad. Thanks to the Funbammies, I'm starting a re-listen of Dungeon Crawler Carl today. It truly is a fantastic series, but because it's so wonderfully weird and niche, I've never known someone else who has read it. I believe Brad mentioned some sort of forum or Reddit that was discussing the series. Would greatly appreciate a link or something, as I think I'll definitely want to discuss things upon a re-listen. P.S. I love the Funbammies because I generally get some great recommendations. Ray in particular has recommended some great British shows. I also appreciate that you allowed Brad to geek out over Dungeon Crawler Carl and other books, as I find it harder to find good book recommendations in general. P.S.S. Chuck, you have good recommendations as well. Sorry it took so long to say your name.
I accept your apology.
Thank you for the email, Logan.
Yeah, thank you, Logan.
I am also listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl. I've read all the books, but I've heard so many good things about the audiobook and like the talent of the narrator.
Oh, that's cool.
And that I'm like, you know what, let's do this. And I'm doing it like as a way to motivate myself to, number one, leave the house, and number two, sort of exercise, where it's like, okay, this is what I'm going to listen to as I walk.
Right.
And it's 1 mile from my house to Chuck's house. So I walk there, I press the doorbell,
through the window,
sprint away,
run away. Yeah.
Yep. But I listen to that, and that's my thing. And even this morning when I was like, ugh, I have to be somewhere at 1 and it's 8 a.m. I don't know if I have time to take a 40-minute walk. I'm like, but I got to find out what's happening in Dungeon Crawler Carl. So I'm using it as a motivator to walk.
Yeah.
That's great.
Logan, I'll say, the subreddit is just Dungeon Crawler Carl. And it's interesting that he mentioned it because I feel like it has gotten more and more popular over the past few months. I know Quinn from Impractical Jokers talked about it on Tell Him Steve Dave.
Yeah.
That he's reading it. Some other friends are reading it, and I think one of them made the New York Times bestseller list.
Oh, cool.
Wow, yeah.
And it's it's a re-release, and they're doing hardbacks and this and that.
Yeah.
So, and in fact, the author Matt Dinneman just announced a book in a different universe coming out, I think in January, and everyone's like, "What about book 8?" And I'm like, "Let the guy write what he wants to write."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I'm glad that it inspired you, and I'm glad that the Funbammies are, favorite things of the previous year episode brought some new stuff into your life.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely. I've gotten a lot of comments about how the Funbammies. It's so funny because they're a weird episode to do because we're just kind of listing things we like and then talking about them for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I've gotten a lot of compliments over the past couple of years that people really enjoy them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's interesting. And it's also weirdly, as I emailed you about one time, like one of the Funbammies is like our highest listened to episode outside of guest episodes.
Yeah.
Crazy. Really, really
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah. Genuinely, I don't understand.
Yeah, I know
But
you don't.
It's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
I don't like the way you said. I know you don't.
I said I feel the same way afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
I tried to save it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Logan.
Apology accepted. Because that's what you said. Anyway, yeah. Speaking of your love of the fantasy books.
Yes.
I was in Barnes & Noble recently with my son, and we went past a fantasy table that they had out.
Yeah.
And there was one of the books, and I don't remember his Sanderson.
Yep.
And Brandon Sanderson.
Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah.
And there was one of his books, and I went, "Oh, it's Brandon Sanderson." And Finn thought I said that because I have read those books. And he went, "You read that?" And I went, "Oh, no." And then I picked it up.
Yeah.
And I went, "Oh, no."
Oh, it's
and it was
really thick.
so thick. I mean, I've read plenty of thick books.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not really a fantasy reader.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones was the only one that like pulled me in.
Yep.
But that was more, I think, because the books at least lean more on like a intrigue kind of thing,
Yeah,
like a political machinations deal. But yeah, it's just not my genre. But I wanted to say that because it's making me, like, your talk of fantasy is making me go, should I read some fantasy? You know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
It's weird because you're like, oh, political machinations. Like I'm
Yeah.
like the Goblin Emperor by Catherine Addison, where there's virtually no violence and it's all royal intrigue. It just happens to be in a goblin world.
See, that's where I fall away.
What
It's
kind
tough.
of goblin?
Goblin's a big hurdle. The word goblin to me is hard for me to be like, how do they govern? You know what I mean?
I've never said this
It's
on the
an empire.
podcast. Goblin is my number one favorite word in the English language.
Yeah.
I've said that since I was in 8th grade.
You like it as a noun.
Yep.
You like it as a verb.
We went to me, and my cousin Christian went to Disney World. I can't even talk about it. There was a guy who was dressed up as the Mad Hatter, and he didn't know what the Mad Hatter was.
Yeah.
And it's like a guy. It's not a mascot costume.
Yeah.
It's a man. And he's like, is that a goblin? And it became a thing that he thought that guy was a goblin.
Wow.
And that when he left the table, the Mad Hatter ate some of his bacon. And it became like
Did you eat the bacon? Yeah.
Yes.
It turns out the goblin was inside here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
kept
Aren't
being
we
like-
all our own goblin?
Yeah.
the whole time he's like, this goblin stole my bacon.
What a phrase. That goblin stole my bacon.
I love goblin. That's the
Oh,
best
he's got a fever. He's dying.
It's the
that
best.
goblin stole my bacon.
goblin. When you say goblin, though, are you talking about like short green ones with big ears?
Yeah.
That's.
I mean,
bizarre.
I don't think there's much way to like interpret goblin beyond a goblin, right?
Yeah.
Love it.
You know, maybe a boglin,
Yeah.
nilbog.
Nilbog.
Nilbog, of course.
Yes.
Oh my god!
I
Yes.
love it. Oh, I love it.
But yeah. Follow me on Goodreads.
That's
There you
fine. Follow Chuck on Weird Reads.
Yes.
Goblin
It's
reads.
weird. It's
Goblin
weird.
reads.
All right. We have an emotion.
Goblinhub.com.
We have an emotional email next.
Oh no!
Also
it's
from
real hard to pivot from Goblin Hub to this.
all right. Just from January 28th. Subject line: It was a Sauvignon Blanc. If you were wondering, it's from Cadence.
Ooh, some fine wine.
Brad, Chuck,
From Cadence
and Ray.
That's a name.
Yes.
Yeah.
I struggle with writing this email as I'm not entirely sure how to go about it. I wouldn't consider myself an active listener to Funbearable, though I do enjoy the bits and pieces I've heard over the years.
So sorry. I'm
You
sorry.
said I'm not an active listener.
Yeah,
we both went.
went.
Specifically the one about the proposed Muppet movies. I'm not sure which episode that was, but I remember driving through Florida while it was playing. In fact, the only time I listen to your podcast is on long road trips with my boyfriend, as it is the only podcast in his library I actually enjoy.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Aha.
That's pretty good.
In your
We're
latest...
getting the other side of the coin here. See, at first, I took "I'm not an active listener" as like an
Yeah.
affront. How dare you?
Yeah.
The shot from Spider-Man when James Franco rises up like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Yes,
Right?
yeah.
He's basically doing that in that moment. James Franco is channeling John Lithgow.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you and I just did the
Yeah.
You know,
The Lithgow scoff.
the famous Wilhelm scream, Lithgow scoff.
Yep.
But as soon as you revealed the fact that it's her boyfriend's podcast that he listens to, it all makes sense.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
as we know, most podcast listendom is men. And then there are many women that listen, but a disturbingly high amount of listenership of women listening to podcasts are women having to listen to
Absolutely.
their boyfriend's little podcast that they like. So thank you, ladies that are listening like that. We really appreciate you. We will try and bring in some more things you want. Right, Cadence, let us know what we can do to liven things up for you, to
Yes.
perk your ears up when you're driving through Florida.
She likes Muppet script.
Assumingly going to some rallies. I don't know. What does Cadence have to say?
She's driving away from the goblin at Disney. In your latest fan mail episode, a man sent in a drawing his girlfriend made of what she thought the three of you looked like in real life.
This is so dangerous to our shattered little egos.
It was
Oh, no.
noted that when watching a video from the podcast, she realized the versions of you in her head were vastly different from reality and found herself shocked, dismayed, and a little perturbed. It's my unfortunate admission that I am the girlfriend in question.
Oh,
Another reveal.
she drew them. She drew the pictures.
A moment of lighthearted, artistic vulnerability shared between two people was turned into a hurtful jab at your expense, for which I apologize.
That's mostly what we do on the podcast anyway.
Yeah.
The phrase, I liked how you, the three of
Yeah.
us, looked in my head better than you do in real life, is one no grown man should be subjected to, and I could stand here and blame an entire bottle of white wine for this act of bullying, but acute alcoholism is no excuse. The fact is, you're three fine-looking men.
Wow.
It rings
Thoroughly-
hollow, but I appreciate it.
Thoroughly accomplished comedians and decent people, probably. In the harsh light of a sober Tuesday afternoon, I could almost shudder at my indiscretions. All this to say, I very much enjoy the podcast, and I wish you all a very happy new year. Cadence, pictured below with her no-good, dirty, rotten boyfriend who emails people drunk things his girlfriend has said about them. P.S. Creating a pamphlet for first-time listeners of Funbearable is a marvelous idea. I'm certain it would help me and many other girlfriends know why everyone is laughing at hot dogs.
Yeah. That's very fun.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, I should have had you guys draw Cadence.
Yeah, we should have drawn her.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, great.
So yeah.
She's the girl one?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
presumed, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, Cadence, thank you. That apology, while not necessary, is appreciated.
Absolutely.
I totally get it. I get that idea. That happens with, every once in a while I'll listen to a podcast, and if it grabs me and I really enjoy it, there does come a point where I go, what do they look like?
Oh, yeah.
And then often I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? So I get it. I totally get that.
Not only do I do it for voices, I do it for characters in books all the time. Whenever I read a book, I'll be like, this guy's this guy's this. I'll just cast it. You know what I mean?
And it's just you with different hats?
Yeah.
I'll say
Yeah, that goblin one was weird.
Big Grande.
Oh, yeah.
I know what they all look like, but I don't know which guy goes with which voice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Interesting, yeah.
That's really fun.
And before I knew what they looked like, I had very different impressions.
Yeah. Although Dan Lippert looks exactly like you think
that's
Dan
true,
Lippert
yeah.
looks like.
I didn't draw them though, because with my drawing skills,
Oh, yeah.
yikes.
I mean, Stickman.
yeah,
And Stickman.
yeah. And they're like,
But
cool.
no, that's totally okay,
Yeah,
Cadence.
no worries
Thank you
at
very
all.
much.
We just
And to be fair, you often see me in this moment where something in this room I'm allergic to. I know I say that all the time.
Yep.
I'm completely sealed up. My eyes feel like swelly. So you're seeing me not in great terms. You know what I mean?
You're allergic to one football card on the shelves behind you,
And
but
I got to find
We don't
it.
know.
but we
one
don't
it
know
is.
which one.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
When I come in, I smell one
Yeah.
to see if it gets worse.
Yeah.
And I rub it on my skin.
And
Yep.
and at some point we'll get through it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Next email, also from January. It's from Steven. You can read this aloud. P.S. I love you all, but Brad is my actual true blue favorite. Happy 2025, boys. I'm writing in response to episode 131, Garfield, racist stereotype?
Oh, yes.
With a point of order. Alaska was purchased by the U.S. from Russia, specifically the Russian Empire, as, amongst other reasons, the Tsars were running out of money, and the fur and timber trade was a reasonable enough excuse for the U.S. to make the land grab, as well as building some diplomacy between the nations. I also think Garfield would be seen as not a racist or speciesist character, just like we don't see Homer Simpson, Goofus of Goofus and Gallant, and Static Shock as racist. The intent of the media isn't to put down, but to entertain with characters that may or may not look like ourselves. Finally, a personal anecdote on the blind spot everyone has. In kindergarten, I noticed a sticker on the bathroom door, a circle with two little lines near the bottom. Since it was on a bathroom door, my 5-year-old brain heard it as P sign. And given that they sound the same, I thought that the peace sign was the P sign.
That's cute.
Until I was 16 years old.
Oh, that's
cute.
good. That's good. That's fun.
Yeah.
You three continue with my personal favorite content. I love you all very much.
Love
Steve,
it.
the Keystone Fun Bear.
Oh, that's cool. I love that. That's great.
Now, I knew the Alaska
Yes.
point of order.
Yeah.
I'm confused as to why it was a point of order. I don't remember. from the episode.
because I didn't think you could drive to Alaska.
Right.
Oh yeah, and then we were talking about Seward's Folly, and
Yeah.
It was like
Huh, okay.
it was like me and Brad were hanging out, and it's
Yeah.
like she drove to Alaska, and I was like, "What the hell are they talking about?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I remember that. I just didn't remember the issue with the
yeah, I don't
purchase
remember
of
the
it.
specifics.
Yeah. No, that's
of it,
fine.
but-
Well, I think I was asking. It doesn't make any sense that we're here and Canada's here and Alaska's here.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I was like, "Well, why?"
Yeah.
and I was like, we bought it from Russia. Yeah, I love that the email went from like this recitation of facts to now moving on to Garfield.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Although I will say, I bet I could come up with a good list of cartoons that are clearly racist.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of old
If
Looney Tunes
Disney ever let half of them out of their vault. You know what I mean? Did you know that Disney has 2 vaults? They have the one where it's like sometimes a VHS copy of something will come out. And then there's the other one that Walt will never open, and it's filled with all of that.
Well, they still have Peter Pan out there, and they have What Makes the Red Man Red as like a main song in it.
Yeah.
There's all these.
And then you also have What Makes the Method Man Method.
Yeah. Rub it on your skin like it's Lubriderm. That's from And Together Now.
And that's what you say when you're putting on blackface.
Like it's Lubriderm.
Oh, man. But no, thank you very much for the email. I really appreciate it. I do love those little things of when you're a kid and you are like, oh, it's that. And it stays there until someone or something solidifies the truth.
Yes.
And you're like, no, that's not that. Not even ones where you get caught out.
No.
Just ones in your head where you go, oh. Oh, I guess so. Do you know, for me, there are still words that I have heard maybe so infrequently in life that when I read them, I still am like, how's that pronounced?
Of course.
You know? I can't think of anything specific right now.
I know I have some too. I have some
but it's
too,
just
for
stuff
sure.
that's rarely said. And so I'm like, you know, and I never want to be the one to
I
get
say it out
wrong.
loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's a word that you always correct me on. Oh man, I wish I could remember it. It starts with an H, I think, but
Humble.
Yes. Chuck has never said it.
Right.
humble.
It's
What is this humble?
I
is it from that Chucky chant?
Yes.
Humble.
Yeah.
Mina Kimes, a reporter, Yale educated, super accomplished, was on TV like a month ago and said the word resuscitate.
Oh.
And she's like, I've never said the word out loud before, and I just happened to say it out loud on ESPN.
You want to hear a real nightmare?
Harbinger.
Oh,
That's the one I used to say.
Oh, really?
I used to say like
Harbinger?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to say detritus as detritus.
But that's okay.
I don't know what that is.
Because I want to say that that's like maybe an English version.
Yeah.
Not an American English version.
I think there are some accepted things like tinnitus. It's actually tinnitus.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So this nightmare situation, because now we're close to names and mispronouncing names. Brad, real quick, as it's in my head. Can you put your phone in a way that doesn't look like you're surreptitiously filming me?
I wasn't up.
He was holding his phone like this,
you-
like
could you-
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Could you spread your
It was
legs a
freaking me
little?
out. You know what? You know what I think it was genuinely? The stand-up comic in me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I
yeah.
clock a phone
Yeah.
that's like at me, and it always bums me out. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I want
Now
to be
I
like,
can't do my racist.
Well,
stuff.
it just like don't feel like I just want to be like, you're not going to watch this.
Of course.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Just
I
let it
know.
go. Let it go. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry. So names, mispronouncing names, that could be a nightmare.
Yes.
I was talking about stand-up. You know, as a stand-up, I like to do crowd work. I ask somebody, they'll repeat their name. I feel good that I haven't fucked that up. And I also feel good that when it is a name that might be hard to get right, I think I've handled it well,
Yep.
Yeah.
which is great. And
Yeah.
that's what I care most about for that situation.
Yeah.
So years ago, I did a short film with Derek Furtado, Doug Key, Corey Brailsford, who owns the Comedy Connection here. We did a short film, and it won in Rhode Island. It was an international film festival called Filmapalooza. It's for the 48-hour film festival.
Yes.
We won here, and then we had to go to L.A. for the big festival
Yes.
that they do, and they were screening everything at Man's Chinese Theater. Super cool, right?
Yeah, very cool.
And they asked me to MC the awards, and I was like, absolutely. And
Yep.
they said, do 5 minutes up front, like a monologue, like an awards ceremony. I was like, great. And so we were there. We did the thing, and they handed me these cards that I needed to now name all of these people at
Yep.
different points. Like essentially the nominees
Yeah.
for an international film festival.
Awesome.
For not only an international film festival, but one that is the 48-hour film festival, which is around the world.
Yep.
So literally cities win,
Yep.
right? Different
Yeah.
cities win. Like we won for the state of Rhode Island.
Yep.
Because Rhode Island's tiny. Then there was New York and Boston and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But it went out. There were people from Mongolia
Right.
that won and were there. Paris, Mongolia,
yeah.
literally every country.
Yeah.
And so I had these little index cards, and they had bracketed phonetic pronunciation.
Good.
And it was bad.
Oh,
Of course. Yeah, that's what
It
I
was
figured.
impossible to really understand what they were trying to lay out there. You know how like if you look at a dictionary
Yes.
and it'll show like the phonetic pronunciation of a word. If you know the word and you look at that, you're like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But when you don't know and it's
A name?
so many syllables
Yep.
and there's dashes and some capitals and I'm supposed to do it fluidly.
Yep.
Like from
Istanbul.
from Istanbul and getting through that and from Estonia, hitting this, it was a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
After the first round, when I went backstage, somebody was like, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so sorry. Just save it for the end. And then I found out later that one of the people that runs the thing, this woman because they gave me a sheet at the end that I just had to list off all these names. It was just in a row, just da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
She handed it to me. I found out afterwards she gave it to me because she was supposed to read it and didn't want to do it because it was so much there.
Yeah.
And I just had to be like at Mann's Chinese Theater in Hollywood in front of people from around the world.
Yeah.
Be like, Chinacha Lord Nabuni. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Right?
That's very
it
funny.
It was genuinely so uncomfortable to do. I made light of the situation.
Yeah, of course.
And I just kept throwing myself under the bus for it.
Yeah.
But it's a page of names.
Right.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
gotta do,
mean?
yeah.
It was bad. And finally we would get to one where it would be like, Frank Delano. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Delano.
Damn it. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but that was truly a nightmare situation. So now maybe that's good because it was like trial by fire.
Yep.
Now when somebody's like, my name is this, and I'm like, it's this, and they go, yeah, and I go, great.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, yeah, because this is in a room full of international people.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sorry, I
God.
just went off.
No,
on
that's
that.
great.
It was like a repressed memory that just came out of me.
Oh,
That's
man.
great.
That is hilarious.
Next email from February 25th. Now, we are recording this in May, and I need to make that clear
Yeah.
now. I don't know when we're going to air this.
Oh, now I'm worried.
Longtime listener Tanner from Nolans. His birthday is coming up March 10th.
Oh, okay.
It's close.
Hey, Tanner. Happy birthday, buddy. Because
Yeah.
this will probably come out in March, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Tanner. And congratulations on turning, right? Because then we can add in like
Yeah.
24,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, right.
49. We'll do each number.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. You edit it.
Okay.
You know what? You just you'd be like 20, and then you don't have to do 20.
Oh, yeah, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My name is Molly. I'm the girlfriend of Tanner from Nolans, who has written to y'all a couple of times, and y'all have read his emails out on the show, episode 107, for
what's her name?
example. Molly.
Jambalaya, we heard that you're from Nolans. You don't have to keep saying y'all, okay?
And then she said, gumbo, gumbo, gumbo.
Jambalaya. Then there's just sheet music for jazz?
Yes. I must confess, I don't listen to you guys much, but Tanner listens every week.
This is a thing. Oh my God. I think we know what our niche is. We're the boys podcast
Yep.
that girls can listen to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can put up with it.
You know what would be funny? If we did a mail sock that was oops, all girlfriend episodes.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, that is
fun.
His birthday is coming up on March 10th.
Yep.
Happy birthday, Tanner.
I don't know if you will see this before you record your March
didn't.
5th
We could.
and March 12th episodes, but I thought maybe I could reach out to see if y'all could give him a shout out for his birthday. He is an amazing partner, a hard worker, and an incredible dad to our 5 fur children. Their children are covered in fur. I think they're human children, but werewolves.
Take it back. I take it back.
Nutria. I can't thank him enough for everything he does for us. I'm planning his favorite homemade dinner and baking his favorite cake for his birthday. He deserves so much more than that, though. Thank you guys in advance for taking the time to read this. You have permission to read anything on air. Best wishes, Molly from Nolans.
Molly, has Tanner told you about birthday cakes with Funbearable at all?
Yes. It's episode 1, 2.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Mark. Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, so maybe you could do like a fun callback to Funbearable.
Yeah, watch episode 2. And
I wouldn't recommend it.
I would.
I would not as well. By the way, I found that picture again.
Good.
It popped up in my phone
Very
because
nice.
I was looking for pictures of Marty we were collecting everything together, and genuinely I'm going through feeling horrible and
Yeah.
mourning my dog, going through, and then that cake picture popped up, and it brought me all back again.
That is
Chuck, what's your favorite thing about Tanner from Nolans?
My favorite thing about him is the fact that he doesn't care at all when you wish him happy birthday.
That's true.
It could be
Yeah,
months
yeah.
later. He just wants to hear it.
Yeah, he doesn't care about promptness.
Yeah, he doesn't care about promptness.
Yeah.
He's like, tell me in June, July. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I did want to say happy birthday to Tanner.
Yeah, I would like to say happy birthday to Tanner as well. I'm excited that there is a Tanner out in the world connected to us in a way, right? Because he listens to the show.
Yep.
Because I want to think that there's a Tanner that I like.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I like
I
that.
have not met a Tanner. I know the Tanners
Yeah.
From Full House?
from the house that's very full.
Yeah.
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 It's very full in that house.
Yeah.
There's
Overflow.
too many.
I know.
I mean, and then they got Stamos up in the attic. He brings the girlfriend in. Now they're starting a family in the attic.
Yeah, that's
Weird
a
to,
little
to
strange.
have your co-host as now your roommate.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The whole thing is weird. And then they had multiple children up
Yeah.
in that.
Oh, yeah.
They
Twins.
called them fur babies too, which is weird.
Yep.
That's so weird. And they got all the kids, and then I think one of the kids, I think the oldest daughter was like, she hooked up with some real dumb guy.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think he must
Steve.
have come to live.
Steve.
Yeah, did Steve come live with them?
I don't know.
You're thinking of Cody from Step by Step.
No, that's a different idiot.
Yeah.
That's a different idiot. But no, I like the house. The house was too. I
Too
forgot
full.
how we got here, other
Yeah,
than
Tanner.
Tanner. But
Yeah.
yeah, the house was too full.
Yeah.
And can I say, too, happy birthday to Tanner
Yes.
for March 10th, 2026.
Yep.
I'd like to be the first person to wish you a happy birthday.
And let me be the first person
Oh,
to
come
say
on.
to you, Molly, we're very sorry for your loss. Tanner
Yeah.
was a wonderful man.
We're
Yeah.
really going to miss him.
This is
We're
for the
just gonna-
future,
we're
too.
yeah, this is for the future.
Yeah.
Far future.
Yeah.
Distant.
Oh, well, not that far.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe he got eaten by his 5 fur babies.
Those fur babies are for
Ferocious.
adults now? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of fur babies?
Yeah.
Are they dogs, cats? I mean, fur
Just
baby
fur.
can be anything.
Yeah, it's true.
A fur baby can be like I've got 5 rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of things have fur.
Nolans.
Yeah.
So, Nutria.
Yeah.
It could be. It very well could be.
Sometimes
I call Brad a fur baby.
mostly, yeah.
Mostly baby.
Fur is a strong word.
My fur toddler.
Fuzz baby.
Fuzz baby, I'll take. I will take fuzz baby.
Yeah.
I also now I'm worried about setting the precedent of like doing shout outs during mail sacks for
Yeah, that
birthdays.
is a good point. Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
know,
Because-
Tanner gets the one and only.
Yeah, well, think about how many people have asked us to do proposals for them.
Oh my gosh.
And we've turned them all down.
Yeah, like Sabrina's like, hey, can I propose to Lee? And Lee's like, hey, can I propose to Sabrina?
Yeah,
Like,
and it would be a beautiful meet cute.
Oh,
It would.
yeah.
But I
It
say,
would.
you know what? Fuck that, right?
I
Because
agree.
then every episode we got to be like, also,
Yeah.
another,
yeah. David wanted you to know,
Yep.
Chris, that you mean the world to him.
Yeah, we're not Delilah. Or is that? Are you guys familiar with Delilah? You're not.
Like, hey there, Delilah.
No.
What's it like in New York City?
She was like a boy. I don't know if it was Christian rock or
Oh,
soft
yeah,
rock.
the radio
like,
lady.
Hey, thank you
Yeah,
for calling
she
in,
would-
Delilah.
yeah.
A long distance dedication from Ray to Chuck,
Oh,
yeah.
saying,
That's exactly what she said.
yeah, sorry about your penis. Now we're gonna play some Sarah McLachlan.
This is all exactly what she says.
sorry about your penis.
Yeah.
I like that.
We do a segment. Sorry about your penis. It's in our Patreon. If you're a free listener,
Yeah.
we're letting you know now. Make sure you hit up the Funbearable Patreon.
They're totally real.
Because Sorry About Your Penis is a show that I think honestly is overtaking regular Funbearable.
I was going to say, we do shout outs in that one.
A lot of shout outs.
It's mostly shout outs.
Yeah.
It's mostly shouting, "Ouch!"
They play it. They play it in some hospitals
Yes.
for the penis victims.
Right. Right. That's right.
That guy that owned a gator, I think, was in there.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, 2027, Tanner.
Thank you, Tanner. Genuinely, we're glad that you listen. We appreciate that you have subjected Molly to this. And Molly, thank you for putting up with it. We really do appreciate that. And we hope you guys are going strong and nothing bad has happened since your supposed birthday to now.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Was that good? I meant it to be genuinely
that
nice,
was
but
good.
it sounded mean.
I liked it.
Next email, late February. Hey boys, after listening, this is from Mike. Hey boys, after listening to episode 133, Strangers in Fiction Part 1, I need Ray to give us the backstory of the farting guard. I'm hoping this becomes a recurring character.
Oh, you must have come up with a character during the script.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the guard, because we were doing a heist or,
Yeah,
a,
yeah.
or
Yes,
a big
yeah, we're
heist
doing a
or
bunch of
money.
heists.
And
Yeah.
I have been, since probably around that time, late February, I have been enamored with one particular fart. This
Okay.
is true. Like, yeah, most people will be like, do that kind of thing. I am now of the mindset. Maybe it's just because I'm getting older. Maybe because in my mature age.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah, of course.
dignified.
Yeah. I find nothing funnier for farts. It's not the big ones. It's not the big braps.
Yeah.
It's not the blats and braps.
Yep.
It is the
Oh, that's fun.
that fart to me is the funniest fart.
No, it is for
Just
sure.
to me personally, and everybody has their own,
I
and
think
that's okay. You can have your own favorite fart.
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yep.
I don't think anybody's wrong.
No, it's all just a horse of a different color.
Yeah,
Willy Wonka.
it's a fart of another kind. What?
Fart of another stench?
So I do like the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
that's a fun
good
one.
because it can happen in conversation, and then everybody's expected to not acknowledge it.
Right.
Right.
That's what's fun.
Exactly. I agree.
I'm with you.
So
Yeah.
we can't remember the farting guard though.
Farting guard, no.
I'll have to go
No.
back and listen.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, maybe the Strangers in Fiction will get so big
Yes.
that eventually all the spin-offs will have to come from tiny minutia.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Right? And it's the Star Wars of
Yes.
it, right?
Yeah,
and we'll
right.
be like, the farting guard?
Yeah,
what was
yeah.
his childhood like?
Yes.
His name was Tanner Nolans.
Oh,
He was a smuggler.
Tanner Nolans.
He was a smuggler. This after some more boy crime. Like we need to bring our wigs.
We got
in
a
the
lot of
near
boy
future.
criminals?
We have a lot of boy criminals.
Wow.
Listening. So this is called Mascots. This is from Scott. Hello, gentlemen. I love the show. I'm listening to episode 136. Brad just explained where several names from mascots come from. My high school mascot was the Hoopston Area Corn Jerkers. Below is our picture of our
Record
mascot,
scratch.
Jerky.
Jerky?
Go back. What did you say the last sentence?
Hoopston Area Corn Jerkers. Below is a picture of our mascot, Jerky, and I'll show you guys in a second.
Yeah, you should show us.
We had a similar story where the name came from a news reporter who decided to call our team the Corn Jerkers because he saw the football team out picking or jerking corn before their game.
Who calls it that?
It was really fun growing up with merch from your
It was
school
the depression.
that said jerkers across it in all caps. Thanks for all the content.
Is this
Content.
real?
Genuinely love listening to you three. Well, there's a photo of a
Anything can be a photo. AI.
It's corn.
It is.
Hold on, let me check here.
It's corn.
Well, I mean, like, there's no
Yeah.
jerking aspect.
Yeah, I will say I don't like how brown his hair is.
I don't like the hair. Get the hair off the corn.
Well, corn has a tuft at the top.
Yeah, it
but
can
it's
have
not brown.
No.
It can have some browning at the end of it.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of blonde.
How does a school possibly have jerker in any way
right.
and not have one single person go, hi,
Yeah.
sorry, it's Christine again for the PTA. I know I do this every meeting. The jerkers means jerking off. I just want to put that out there.
Yes.
I know Christine always brings it up, but I'm just okay. That's it. Thank you.
So I got concerned that maybe it was fake. It was whatever. I went to Hoopston.
You didn't
Hoopston
put in
area.
jerkers.com?
I should auto-completed. And I found like their high school basketball jersey definitely says corn jerkers across the front.
Oh my God.
You said the mascot was AI? Wow.
I'm just saying. Ray
Yeah, you
said
never
anything
know.
could be a photo.
I was joking, but
Yeah, no.
it's true.
But yeah, the
corn jerkers.
Also, like Hoopston area is weird to me.
Yeah.
Everything about it is weird. The
Well, you know
Hoopston
what
area
though?
corn
If you
jerky.
get out in rural areas,
Yeah.
right?
You need to
You
area.
do get to you have to area.
That's true.
You have to area.
Yeah.
If you town, there's 7 kids.
Yeah,
that's true.
right.
You know?
Exactly.
It's like up in northern Maine.
Yeah.
You don't have town names. You have I can't remember the name now, but it's just numbers.
It's like townships. right?
Sure,
Where
sure,
there's
yeah.
collections of towns.
So here's the deal. Can you tell me the name again one more time of who
Hoopston
emailed?
area
Scott.
corn jerkers.
Scott. Yeah.
Scott. Scott, thank you very much. We love that you listen. We hope that you've continued to listen. Please do me a favor. I'm a 6'7" fat guy. Okay, so it's really hard for me to find like shirts that fit me nicely.
Yeah, of course.
I need you to do everything in your power to get us some corn jerker jerseys.
Wow.
Like what we saw in that picture of the school. If you can, I don't know if you want to talk to the superintendent of schools. I am absolutely happy to come up with some kind of charity fundraising thing that we can do.
Sure.
The three of
Yeah,
us.
to help the Hoopston area.
To honestly, to send some money to whatever
jerkers.
the corn jerkers like. They gotta fix the field sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Let's keep these kids in basketballs, baby.
I like it.
And all we need is 3 jerseys that say corn jerkers, maybe our names on the back, or Funbearable. Funbearable on the back.
Yeah.
Corn jerkers on the front.
Yeah.
Just like I fuck. Sorry. I'm sorry. Funbearable on the back, corn jerkers on the front. It was too funny.
Yeah.
But I would love a jersey. I would absolutely.
yeah.
I would wear that jersey with pride. All 3 of us would wear that jersey on the show.
Oh, for
you know
sure.
we would. And
For
it would
sure.
also be fun to be like, hey, Funbearable does good. We raised $1,200 for the corn jerkers.
Yeah. I might even make my own sign.
Yeah. Where? In the Hoopston area.
I think it's Central Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, so thank you, Scott. Please let me know. Even if you just want to put me in touch with the superintendent, I will try my damnedest to get those jerseys.
We'll trade him for some Cooper's
corn
Cast coffee.
Oh,
I like it.
This was sent from us to us saying, I think we missed this email.
Oh, okay.
The original
Oh, no.
email was from Tony in June of 2024. Subject, THC versus Brad, comma,
I don't remember reading this.
Corey
on the air.
Feldman.
Corey Feldman.
There's a comma. Hey, guys. In a recent episode, Brad mentioned that he would not try THC until recommended by a doctor. I grew up in the Midwest and signed a DARE pledge as well, so I had the same reservations. I now live in a legalized state and have many friends who THC is a lifesaver for. Have you considered trying CBD? It offers most of the same benefits without the pesky getting high. For me, it helps relieve anxiety. My wife uses it for back pain, and it does a world of good. I would start with a small dose, 5 to 10 milligrams, and see how it goes. They even have CBD-infused sparkling water you can buy if that sounds better than taking a pill.
True, and it doesn't taste great.
So we have seen Ambien Brad, but what would THC Brad look like?
Oh my God.
Does he wear a knit beanie all the time, even when it's 90 degrees out? Does he wear a cool Rasta hat like Homer Simpson at Lollapalooza?
I mean, in both cases, your head does get cold quick.
I like to think THC Brad becomes very religious under the influence, but it is a different religion than what he believes in.
Ooh.
Maybe it's one
Ja.
of yes, maybe it's one of those where you wear a white button-down shirt and ride around on a bicycle and knock on strangers' doors, or maybe that one where you handle snakes and speak in tongues. I think the tagline for the sitcom would be, some people get the munchies, but this guy, he evangelizes. Or, this guy believes in a higher power. Emphasis on the high.
Oh, there you go.
You mentioned Corey Feldman opening for Limp Bizkit. I have seen him live, and it is sad and weird. He did a free show near me a few years ago, and it was really a spectacle. He yelled at the people up front about how the show was free, and they did not appreciate it. The people up front were in the VIP area and were literally the only people who paid for the show. Most people left about 20 minutes into the performance.
Yeah, it's
Ooh.
rough
Signed
stuff.
Yeah,
Tony.
yeah. Yeah, that's a man. Corey Feldman playing in his band. Like, I get like the guy had some stuff happen, and that's awful. I certainly wish him no ill will. It feels like Charlie Sheen on his tour when he was doing his speaking tour.
Have
It
you seen
does
any
feel
of?
like that.
Have you ever seen any of it?
Yes,
It's
yes,
like
yes.
basically Michael Jackson.
Yes.
It's so bizarre.
It's very, very strange. But let's get to the highlight of this email.
yeah.
I think that was Corey Feldman.
THC Brad.
Well,
Corey Feldman was the highlight.
I'll tell you a funny thing. One time, Brad and I don't remember what the bet was. Maybe Brad does.
whose kiss was strongest.
Yes.
Chuck won. Wasn't even close.
Yeah.
So
Well,
My lips were sore for days.
you're a kiss bottom, right?
yeah, right. So I don't remember the exact terms of the bet, but I know that if I won,
Yeah.
I was having this wrestling event with like 25 people. If I won, Brad had to wear this like cat in the hat
Right.
that was purple and black with a picture of the Undertaker, the wrestler, on the front, right?
Yeah.
And part of it was that he was not allowed to tell anyone this because of a bet.
Right.
After the event,
And I wore it the whole night. There's a picture of me like in the hammock.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
this big
yeah.
dumb cat in the hat, Undertaker hat on.
and afterwards, someone was like, "Man, Brad was so drunk that night just because he was wearing the hat. It had nothing to do with his
Yep.
behavior.
Yep.
Yep.
Just seeing him in the hat made that happen. I thought that was very fun.
That's very fun.
I think that would be THC Brad too.
I think THC, Brad. Here's what I don't want to be around the first time you get high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would totally hang out with you after 3 or 4 times
When
you've
he's used
gotten
to
high.
it.
Once you've settled into it.
Yeah.
And I think THC, Brad. I like the comedy of it. I don't think the comedy's there. I think this is like some sort of reverse like oh my god, my brain is shutting down. Jekyll and Hyde. Reverse Jekyll and Hyde.
Wait, so I'm Hyde now, and I'd be Jekyll then?
He just thinks you'd be very like, "Hey, what's up?" Like very bland.
Hold on, let me take it again. I'm so mad that I couldn't remember.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. I think you would just be fine. I think
Me too.
I think you know what it would do? It would take some of the edges, sand them down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am pretty edgy. I would love to experience life without back pain.
Yeah.
I've tried CBD oil. It did not affect me in any perceivable way.
Is this rubbing or drinking?
It was droplets, sublingual, if you will, under the tongue. And
Sometimes I take 2 of them.
Yeah.
I duolingual.
I
gotta go. That was the bottom of the barrel. That was really the bottom of the barrel.
and so I didn't do it. And then I talked to one of my doctors about THC, and they were like, "There's no medical proof it does anything." Blah blah blah.
It's a doctor. I guess say that stuff. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I don't.
They also
remember,
didn't say don't do it. Did
I
they?
remember. I don't remember which doctor it was, but
Dr. Bummer,
yes, that was it.
Yeah.
Dr.
Dr. Buzzkill.
Dr. Buzzkill. There you go.
QG Square.
Yes.
That's great.
I would say honestly, like I know you are a teetotaler, right?
Yeah.
You might as well have the X's on the back of your hands.
Yep.
I get it.
I love caffeine and I love chocolate.
All right.
Take that, Mormons.
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
right? I think it would be maybe good every once in a while to take a break, right?
Well, I mean,
In the words of Sloan Peterson, every once in a while, somebody's going to the zoo, right?
yeah. Just because I am so similar to Cameron.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I said it. Sloan Peterson. Everybody goes to the zoo.
Yeah. All right. And then Chuck's clearly Ferris Bueller.
Don't do that to him. Do not do that to him.
But what does that make you?
Oh, no.
Principal.
No, it doesn't play out the same
I
way.
think you're Edie McClurg, and you say that Chuck's a righteous dude.
I was just thinking
I
of
like
Edie
that.
McClure, yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
If anything, I'm probably, I don't know. I think Chuck is actually Ferris's dad.
Okay.
Because he's just like, yeah, it's fine, you know, not a problem. And then when you
I am
see
kinda like that.
you see Sloan in traffic, you're like, oh, what's up? Like, I'm gonna fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Ferris Bueller probably actually does.
Sure. But I like how you're like, yeah, but I want to be the one that does the sex, right? And I don't think Ferris thinks that way. You know, what I
he
mean?
He definitely.
I don't
does.
think we have to break this down into who's who in that, other than because I don't think it's a 1-for-1 for all of us.
Right.
Oh, Charlie Sheen. That'd be weird.
That's really weird.
That doesn't
Yeah.
fit you in whatsoever.
No. Who's left?
Oh,
The
but Charlie
sister?
Sheen in real life.
Oh no! Oh no!
Corey Feldman.
The boy in puberty during 2.5 Men. But no, I think maybe a little chill out would be good.
I've heard that. Next email.
Who wrote that again? By the way, Tony.
Yes.
Tony, change your email address now because for sure Brad is calling the police because You sent him an email, and I'm imagining it's across state lines. He's talking feds. He's ready to do it. Finally, his tape recorder comes into play.
I will say, like, I was kind of like Brad for a long time. And as Tony said, the DARE program thing.
Yeah.
I think I was one of those people where they're like, heroin and weed are the same thing.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? It was all that kind
Yeah.
of like bullshit. And eventually, the reason I started taking the gummies was because I was like, I want to sleep better.
Yeah.
And so I take them to sleep. I don't take them recreationally, like in the middle of the day to be high.
Yeah.
I just take them to go to sleep.
Dude,
And they help a
I
lot.
use my vape pen at night, and it's only for sleep. And because I have a bit kind of about that on stage, many times people are like, "Oh, do you want to come out? You want to hang out? You want to do the thing?" And I have to be like, "Oh no, I'm good. I'll fall asleep." You know what I mean? Like I've trained myself to get to that place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not like in high school but yeah, beyond that, I went a pretty good stretch, maybe a little in college, but yeah, I really do treat it like, okay, I'm going to bed now.
Yeah,
you
me
know what I
too.
mean? Yeah.
I have a new drug too, which is called trazodone. This guy prescribed it to me on
Yeah.
the phone in 2 seconds, and I take that, and it makes me insane. Like to the point, like it's so loopy
Oh yeah.
that I don't go near stairs when I have it because I feel like I'm unbalanced.
I tried trazodone once for my sleep stuff, and I was like, "Oh nope, not for me," and I bounced out of it quick.
I like feeling loopy and going to sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot. I don't want to take it every day.
Yeah,
You know what I
maybe it's
mean?
also because I have a kid.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
exactly.
don't want to be in that
You're like,
state.
I can't be this irresponsible right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. No, it's not good. I'm chaining myself to the floor.
Just eat some Cheez-Its before I go
Pins
to bed.
downstairs. I won't go near the stairs.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
You come up here.
Speaking of taking the edge off,
I think we got time for one more, right?
but this
All
is
right.
a very short email, but it might be a good one to end on.
That's
we'll see.
fine.
It's from April
We'll vamp.
6th. It's from Brian.
Thank you, April.
It's from Brian S.
Oh,
Hey guys, I'm the guy who boiled the skulls in Chicago and held the balls, vagina, and anus contests.
thank you for clarifying which person that boiled the skulls in Chicago it was. Because it was either the sex competition guy or that other lady.
Or the kid.
Oh, that kid, the Chicago kid.
Yes.
We're going to find out this guy's a murderer.
Is this really the guy?
And-
He's been commenting on our YouTube videos, so I think it is.
And now you communicated with this person. Was it a Brian S?
I think so, yeah. He does comment on our YouTube videos.
Brian, what does it stand for? Brian Suck and Blow. Skull Boiler.
Hey guys, I'm the guy who blah, blah, blah. And I invented the auto blow.
I can't believe you just those two pieces of information.
Well, we already said
I'm
it.
Brian S. Yada, yada, yada.
I boiled some, etc., etc.
Boiled skulls and had air sex competitions. No, if you bud and didn't tell anybody, no one would guess those two things. Ever.
But we had already read it.
I know, but the fact that you bud, such insane things.
All right, I'll reread the entire message.
Anus, boiled skulls, whatever.
Hey guys, I'm the guy who boiled the skulls in Chicago and held the balls, vagina, and anus contest, and I invented the auto blow.
This guy,
Oh my god, I misremembered it as air sex competition.
No, he's
forgot
judging-
it's the
It's
beauty
genital
contest.
beauty contest.
The genital beauty contest.
This guy rocks,
Thank
man.
God you didn't that time because I would have forgot it.
I don't care if this guy murdered those people. This guy rocks.
All right, I
That
don't.
was Chuck Staten
I
saying
don't think.
that.
Brad feels the same way.
I saw the segment where you talked about all. I did not say that. All of that on YouTube a month or two ago, and thought it was hilarious.
That's great.
Keep up the awesome
it
work.
didn't make me think about my choices at all.
He's made good choices.
Keep up the awesome work,
Yes.
and let me know if I can send an auto blowout.
Whoa.
Brian. I mean, Chuck already ran through two of them. On the way
The
here.
smell of like the burning
burnt
plastic.
I'm going to say this. When did we get the original auto blows? 2000.
What Valentine's Day was that?
Like, let's call it 2011.
Yeah, let's.
Sure.
So I have those versions. I had one.
Did you just say
It's
virgins?
Yes, yes.
Versions.
He definitely.
Virgins.
And I
I
used
got a couple of virgins in the back. You go back and it's just two audibles.
And they're clearly used extensively.
Worn out.
one has a cigarette.
One has a note that says "kill me."
He always said I used it to the point where they both had little crutches. So
a very tiny dent.
So we were sent 2 auto blows, one for me, one for Brad.
Yeah.
I took mine. Eventually, the whole thing tore apart. Like, it was crazy, right?
Yes.
And then eventually, Brad's is just sitting there. He's not.
I'm not going to use it.
So
I wanted to give it away as a contest to a listener of the podcast, and Chuck's like,
By the way,
maybe not.
Are we talking about the auto blow or your ass?
Both.
Because he said, I looked over at Brad's, he's not using it. And then you're like, I was thinking about giving it away to a listener in a contest.
Talking about both.
So that was 14 years ago.
Yeah. Sure.
So I have those versions of the auto blows. Maybe like the auto blow version 2 or something.
Okay.
But 4 months ago, when we recorded the boiled skull thing,
Yeah.
that's because with Tuesdays with Stories, we got sent more auto blows, and I have 2 more auto blows.
Oh my God.
But those are going to be like version 14. It's been 14 years.
Wow.
So, we had to demonstrate them on the show. Me and Joe were doing it. Joe List. And
What?
we had to demonstrate them. That's part of the ad agreement.
You put it,
I like Joe's like sitting back, you know what I mean, with his arms behind his head.
Yeah.
And then I had to like pantomime, like I was on my knees using the auto blow on him.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His penis wasn't out.
No,
'cause
no.
We can't put that on YouTube.
No, that's fine.
And so
It was all dignified.
it was all very dignified. So I have, the original auto blow signature, classic, and then I have the newfangled auto blow already.
Yeah.
But if I didn't,
With the bells and the whistles.
I would certainly request one because they're great devices.
All right. That's fantastic.
I like this guy. I really like him.
I like the interesting life he's lived.
And
Right? And if you're independently wealthy, I love you, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's hang out. We'll go on a cool. No.
He could teach us
Right.
how to.
We'll go on a cool trip.
He can teach us how to boil skulls.
Right.
He could tell us how beautiful our genitals are.
Ooh, we could finally get an answer to this question. Who's got the more beautiful balls?
Yeah.
Penises, we both agree, they're fine.
Yeah.
We want to know about the balls.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I like this guy. He was cool to me back then.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy. I love that he watched our talk about this because we did a whole episode about this guy.
Yeah.
Consistently accused him of murdering those people. Remember that?
Never officially accused him of anything.
And we essentially did a Netflix true crime series about him in that episode.
And he's like, these guys are great. I love these. This guy is part of the podcast universe.
You know
He's
what,
part
though?
of
I will say this.
Funbearable.
I will say this. Given those pieces of information that I have, and the fact that he wrote in and said these things, tells me. I mean, if you're gonna make auto blows and sell them and have a genital beauty contest, you have to have a sense of humor, right?
Oh, he
I think
does.
realistically, a lot of that has a sense of humor in it.
Yeah.
Because if someone was deathly serious about both things, that's a whole different story.
Right.
And I don't think they would listen to this podcast.
Right.
Because I don't think they would be allowed a device to listen to it
Right.
in their cell.
Right.
Right?
No, this guy's fun.
Yeah.
He's left comments on the original Auto Boil episode and a much later episode. He commented another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like recently.
Yeah, recently. So he was like a good guy. He's appreciating the
Was
show.
it on the auto fingerer?
yeah.
That episode?
Dr. Genius.
Yeah.
AKA Brad's seat right now. No, but he's
great.
He seems like a nice guy. And
Yeah.
I really appreciate that he has a sense of humor about us
Yes.
joking.
Absolutely. Also,
because he was investigated for murder for real.
yeah.
And we also
found out not so.
guilty, but we made a lot of light of time in his life that was probably
hard.
pretty worrisome.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you can laugh about that.
He almost bought a white Bronco. That's all I'm going to say about it. Right? Now, let's get to the real.
He bought a
If the
red
au-
one and was going to boil the paint off.
If the auto blow fits.
Right? Now,
Oh, no.
I just want to say this. Let's be honest, okay? We've said some kind things about Brian S.
Yeah.
Can we just let's stop faking, okay? Let's be real for a second. We are trying to butter Brian up so we can get the next version of the auto blow to automatically play new episodes of Funbearable
Yes.
as it does its job.
Right. Right when you finish.
Yeah,
you're relaxing in your bed.
Yeah.
And then it just lulls you to sleep.
Why are you holding your hands up like that for relaxing?
Because I don't have to touch anything anymore.
Oh, are you handcuffed to the bed?
No, this is
Do
how
you handcuff yourself to the bed?
This is me expressing. I can't believe this is happening for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Hey, boss, I got some bad news on the new units. The episodes start playing early, and nobody can keep an erection.
That's true.
Oh, boy. Everybody is playing a fun game. Can they last until the cold open's done?
So far, no.
No one's made it. Nobody's made it. They don't even like the show.
To be frank, they hate these guys.
They fucking hate these guys.
That's great. Well, thank you, Brian. You're a great guy.
Thanks, Brian. We really do appreciate it. How about this? I know for Chuck, you'd love this. If you're in this auto blow business, whatever prototypes you're working on, if you need somebody to be a test pilot on that thing,
Also, like,
get that guy.
do you have
His shit's mangled. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I'd love to try it. Do you have to boil skulls that have been removed from skin, or can we get Brad's skull kind of boiled so it's like shined up and nice?
It's mostly there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Ow.
It boils me.
Yes.
Could we do a Funbearable? Maybe not for every auto blow, but what if there was a Funbearable option? Like we had our own line.
Yeah.
a Funbearable blow. Yeah.
Wow.
No.
The name sold it. You came up with it?
I came up with it because of my love of wordplay.
You heard it here first, folks. Brad Rohr is the CEO of Funbearable.
Hold on. I'm going to say it, and you're going to hate it, and I'm going to say it anyway. Brian, we have an idea for scro globes.
No.
Where we take our own scrotums.
Nope.
We dip them in wax.
Nope.
We make a mold of our scrotum. We put
Nope.
it upside down in a snow globe.
Nope.
And maybe you're the man who can get scro globes out to the world.
Nope.
On,
Okay.
give your scrotum.
All three of us have a business that we're pitching to Brian, right?
Yeah.
You're pitching Scro Globes. As we know, Brad is clearly pitching his passion project, the Funbearable.
Just like wordplay.
The thing he won't shut up about. And I'm pitching that it's the auto blow, but at the end it goes, good job. Right? That's all I want. I just want a little pat on the back for it.
Can you promise me something?
No.
Depends on what it is.
Let me.
No, I don't like where this is going. I don't like your hand in the position it is. I don't like after talking about scrotums, you're like, let me. I don't like where it's going.
Just give me 5 minutes with that scrotum.
No.
5 minutes.
Nope.
It won't hurt.
Nope.
It'll take no time at all.
Hands off, pal.
We'll talk about it.
No,
You boiled my skull. I don't want you doing the same thing to my scro.
Yeah.
Oh, now I know why Chuck has been pushing so hard for Brad to use marijuana for the first time. Get him real high. Like, it's going to be cool, man. Don't worry about it. You're just a little high. Here. Sit down on this plaster casting real quick.
Great stuff.
Yeah, this was fun.
Thank you to Brian and everyone who wrote in. We really, really do appreciate it. We appreciate hearing from anyone. Funbearablepod@gmail.com or find us on socials @funbearablepod. Always happy to hear from y'all. For Ray Harrington and Chuck Staten, I'm Brad Rohr saying thank you so much, and we're sorry for being Funbearable.
Now, Brad, when you pitch this,
Yeah, not pitching.
you're going on your own?
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes.
Are we privy to some of the back end because it's Funbearable?
Yes.
I
of
also
course.
don't even know what the device is, really.
I don't know either, but he just won't.
Oh, I know.
It's an auto blow with 3 holes.
It's for us to have sex.
no.
One just won't stop.
You know what would be great?
Oh.
It'd be great if it was an auto blow, but it's just Brad's boiled skull. Sideways.
my eyes. There's just different sound effects.
My brains are being boiled.
Oh boy, there's too many things in my head happening right now. It really paints a picture, doesn't it?
It really feels like scro globes are going to become a thing.
How do we incorporate hot dog into auto blow? It's so close. It's so close. It's an auto blow on one end, and then on the other end, it cooks it. No, because that can get switched around very easily.
Ow!
Very easily.
Yeah.
Is Puddinhead something?
Ew. Ew, Brad.
I'm just, hey.
No, genuinely, I'm like taking on board what you just said, and that's fucking disgusting.
Puddin' head.
Right, that's where I was. Yeah. I think it's gross.
It's just the pot going up and down.
And then at the end, what you hear is, "It's a living."
The Flintstones.
Yeah, it's a living, and it's just Puddinhead. Oh man. Ugh, so hot.